Who will read today? Goodla, you start.
Yes, sir.
Goodla, read.
Sir.
The conclusion is that.
Sir, okay, sir. The conclusion is that only when we talk about devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead can we refrain from useless, nonsensical talk. We should always endeavor to use our speaking power solely for the purpose of realizing Krishna consciousness. As for the, sir, should I continue, sir?
Uh,
As for the hesitations of the flickering mind, they are divided into two divisions. The first is called Avirodha Priti or unrestricted attachment, and the other is called Virodha Yukta Krodha, anger arising from frustration. Adherence to the philosophy of the Mayavadis, belief in the fruitive results of Karmavadis, and belief in plans based on materialistic desires are called Avirodha Priti. Gyanis, karmis, and materialistic plan makers generally attract the attention of conditioned souls. But when the materialists cannot fulfill their plans and when their devices are frustrated, they become angry. Frustration of material desires produces anger.
good. So,
Thank
so Prabhupada again revisiting every topic, and so he again is talking about how to use the urge to speak in a positive way, and he's saying that writing books is a transcendental way to engage the urge to speak. And here he said that uh, the anger, first part is that flickering mind. And flickering mind is divided into two divisions. One is unrestricted attachment, which is almost everyone. You know, they have given full freedom to mind to do whatever it wants to do. And the other is Virodha Yukta Krodha. So mind has two things. One is unrestricted attachment. The other is the anger arising from frustration. So obviously, when you have unrestricted freedom to the mind, then you cannot fulfill all the desires of the mind. And hence there will be frustration within. And this is a great danger. And we are angry within because we have given 100% uh, concession to the mind. Mind can do anything and everything. And when mind contemplates, obviously the situation on the ground is not supportive or doesn't facilitate the desires of mind. So you will have a lot of unfulfilled desires, and that would create anger. So basically, the unrestricted attachment to the object of senses, and the same thing, Dhayato Vishayantamsa, Sangastesu Upajayate, Sangat Sanjayate Krodha, Krodhat Kama Vijayate, Sangat Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodha Vijayate, Krodhat Bhavati Sammohat Buddhi Dhansa. So this, there is a pattern. Pattern is the moment mind is given full freedom, the mind will be behaving like not.
Some people earlier commented that volume is little low, but now
Hare Krishna. So, so this that is why we should not become, Godasa and Goswami. It doesn't matter whether a devotee is a Grihastha or a sannyasi or brahmachari. It should never be Godasa. It should be Goswami. Okay. So if we are Godasa, we should not think I should get married because then I can become a first class Godasa. No. Anything, you cannot say, oh, because I cannot maintain my brahmacharya, that's why I will get married. This is nonsense. And yesterday I said, whether you become a Grihastha or you become a Vanaprasthi, you become a sannyasi, you become a brahmachari, the whole objective is to make family of Krishna. Our job is to expand the family of Krishna. Why we have to expand? Because Krishna's family is very big. What is the need to expand the family? Because ultimately everyone belongs to Krishna's family. And not by being within the Krishna's family, those who are not part of Krishna's family, they are missing the nectar. And hence, our mandate by from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to go and preach, go out and preach. Give the holy name to all the faithful people and deliver everyone to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is how we should take the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it doesn't matter whether one is a Grihastha, brahmachari, sannyasi, principle is always same. So we should not be giving mind and full freedom. Then we will suffer from unrestricted attachment to sense enjoyment, and that very desire to sense enjoyment will make us frustrate, and there will be anger. Anybody who tries to satisfy their senses will never be peaceful. Okay? Those who tolerate the desires of mind, they will become peaceful. Please remember this. Those who tolerate the desires of mind will become peaceful. Those who satisfy the desires of mind, they become unpeaceful and full of anger. Okay, next. Mayank Madhusudan.
Similarly, the demands of the body can be divided into three categories: the demands of the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. One may observe that these three senses are physically situated in a straight line as far as the body is concerned, and that the bodily demands begin with the tongue. If one can restrain the demands of the tongue by limiting its activities to the eating of prasad, the urges of belly and genitals can automatically be controlled. In this connection, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Sarira vidya jal janendriya tahe kal jive file visay sagare tar madhe jivati lobho maya sudurmati take jata kathin sansare krishna bado dayamay kari bare jiva jay स्वप्रसाद अन्न दिलो भाई सही अन्न अमृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे ढाको चैतन्य निताई. O Lord, this material body is a lump of ignorance, and the senses are a network of paths leading to death. Somehow or other, we have fallen into the ocean of material sense enjoyment, and of all the senses, the tongue is the most voracious and uncontrollable. It is very difficult to conquer the tongue in this world. But you, dear Krishna, are very kind to us. You have sent this nice prasad to help us conquer the tongue. Therefore, let us take this prasad to our full satisfaction and glorify your Lordship, Sri Radha and Krishna, and in love call for the help of Lord Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda.
Thank you. So, the bodily agitations are due to tongue, belly, and genital. So, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying that if we take Krishna Prasadam, then automatically other two also will be automatically controlled. So Prasadam must be taken in a regulated fashion, as your Prabhupada said, and we should not take very palatable food. Once in a occasion, like some festival happened, and you announce some palatable prasadam, fine. But anyway, all prasadam must be cooked in a very moral goodness. The best standard for cooking prasadam is Jagannath prasadam. Jagannath prasadam is cooked always in moral goodness and very, very, it's the best way to cook and tasty bhoga for Krishna. And from Jagannath prasadam, we should recognize how to cook nice food for Krishna, which are full of goodness and tasty for the Lord. So this about this prasadam, Prabhupada would further say, someone can say now, who can read? Jitendra Soni. Jitendra Soni, read the next one.
Hare Krishna. There are 6 kinds of rasas, tastes, and if one is agitated by any one of them, he becomes uncontrolled by the urges of the tongue.
He becomes controlled.
Some persons are.
He becomes controlled.
He becomes controlled by the urges of the tongue. Some persons are attracted to the eating of meat, fish, crabs, eggs, and other things produced by semen and blood and eaten in the form of dead bodies. Others are attracted by eating vegetables, creepers, spinach, and or milk products, but all for the satisfaction of tongue's demands. Such eating for sense gratification, including the use of extra quantities of spices like chili and tamarind, is to be given up by Krishna conscious person. The use of pan, haritaki, betel nuts, various spices used in the pan making, tobacco, LSD, marijuana, opium, liquor, coffee, and tea is indulged in to fulfill illicit demands. If we can appreciate accepting only remnants of food offered to Krishna, it is possible to get free from Maya's victimization. Vegetables, grains, fruits, milk products, and water are proper foods to offer to the Lord, as Lord Krishna himself prescribes. However, if one accepts prasada only because of its palatable taste and thus eats too much, he also falls prey to trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us to avoid very palatable dishes, even while eating prasada. If we offer palatable dishes to the deity with the intention of eating such nice food, we are involved in trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. If we accept the invitation of a rich man with the idea of receiving palatable food, we are also trying to satisfy the demands of the tongue. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is stated, Jivhara lalase ye iti utidhaya shishnodara parayana Krishna nahi paya. That person who runs here and there seeking to gratify his palate and who is always attached to the desires of his stomach and genitals is unable to attain Krishna. Sir, आगे पढ़ना है. As stated before, the tongue, belly, and genitals are all situated in a straight line, and they fall in the same category. Lord Chaitanya has said, "Bhala na khaibe ar bhala na paribe." Do not dress luxuriously and do not eat delicious foods. Those who suffer from diseases.
Okay, go ahead.
Those who suffer from diseases of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of the belly. At least according to this analysis, when we desire to eat more than necessary, we automatically create many inconveniences in life. However, if we observe fasting days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demands of the belly.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is all about prasadam. Further, and Prabhupada is again and again saying that palatable food we can cook for Krishna, but we cannot cook for Krishna thinking that I am going to eat. Don't worry. And when you cook in kitchen, you should always play Haribhajan and cook in a proper mood. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your human life. And those who have got this service of cooking for Krishna, they should always feel very fortunate. But then, if they misuse their service, they are trampled by Lord Narasimha. Lord Narasimha is very, very powerful. If you don't serve him nicely, he will give such a kick. You will not be able to worry where did I get this kick? In the front, in the back, in the side, or whichever direction. So cooking is very important. And one of the things that I would like to do is always cook for Krishna. And always cook for Krishna. So people should give me as much ingredient as possible. I cook, and somebody should be there to distribute. There is a cook, somebody should give the ingredients, and there will be someone to be distributed. So, you see, today is Snan Yatra. What is Snan Yatra? You know, today is appearance day of Lord Jagannath Baldev. So I had a divine darshan. So today they came, no, Daru Brahma. Today's appearance there is Jagannath Baldev Subhadra in the form of Daru. Daru means the wood. Okay. So on this very day, Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and they okay, let me tell the story. What is the appearance of Lord Jagannath Baldev? The appearance of Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra is that there was a king called Indradimna. So Indradimna wanted to worship Neelamadhava. Neelamadhava, so when he went, he sent his people to search for Neelamadhava. And finally, the minister Vidyapati located the Neelamadhava. With the help of the worshipper of Neelamadhava, Vishwavasthu, his daughter, Lalita. So Vidyapati was very clever. He made a friendship with the Lalita and engaged in loving reciprocation, and also got married to Lalita. And through that, he could influence the Lalita's father that he would like to see where is Neelamadhava. And that is how Vidyapati finally was taken to the place where Neelamadhava is there, and when he saw that, he was absolutely wonderstruck. But when he came back and took the king and to the spot, so there is no Neelamadhava. Neelamadhava vanished. The king became very morose. So again he fasted. In the dream, Lord came. I do not want to be worshipped now in Neelamadhava. I am going to appear as Jagannath Baldev. So, and then he told that in the form of wood, first I will appear in the ocean, and so that wood would come in the ocean. in Banki. And Banki is a place and the sea beach are. And there they would find three big logs. Okay, Daru Brahman. So that, that cannot be even lifted by ordinary people. And nobody, the wood can, but it has to be carved. But what it has to be carved from? Many people don't know. Just simply wood has come. So what will you say? Nobody knows. Right? So nobody knows what is this form? How this has to be carved. Right? And the local carpenters, they could not even touch the wood. They could not scratch the wood also. So then one very lean and thin person came. And of course, who will come to carve? Lord himself would come carve, because he only knows his own form. The Lord comes and he carves. He gives the condition, as I'm carving, nobody should open. And he finished carving. So when he finished carving, everything got stopped. But some days was given that this many days you should not open. The queen of Indrajumna got tense, opened the door. And then we saw this form of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and that was in complete form. They have never seen such a form. And when that happened, again the king became very morose. Again Lord came in that way. This is my form. He is bad. So the day the carving was done and Gundija opened that day. This is called appearance day. Lord Jagannath was that. Okay. It means when the first time they were carved from that wood. This is called appearance day of the नहीं जब उनकी कार हुआ ना immediately on that day only he will take 108 kumbhas. Kumbha means kalasa. Kalasa means big pot, matka. And those pots of water, 108 pots of water, Tirtha Jala. Tirtha means Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati. All the Tirtha Jalas, 108 pots will be used to bathe Jagannath. So this last time we were in Jagannath Puri, we had a fortune of seeing all those kuans and very such nice this fellow. He said, I am going to crack. Where? In Abu Dhabi. Jagannath even didn't give him a ticket to go to Abu Dhabi. Where is this fellow? He cheated me. I was seeing this natak. ऐसे नाटक किया है ये, इसको क्या कहूं? नाटक करने वाले बहुत होते हैं इधर. Why I said about Snana Yatra? In what context? No. That is the long back I told. Anybody who can remind me what I was speaking?
Then some say Vishwakarma is designing. Question.
सुधीर को 2 चप्पड़ मार दो. एक थप्पड़ एक गाल में उसको लाल करके पूरा सोलन कर दो. दूसरों को 2 फाड़ कर दो. Krishna's form can only be carved by Krishna himself. So Krishna can come as a Vishwakarma, that's a different thing. But Krishna is going to carve Krishna only. Crazy fellow. What I was saying, why did I go to Snan Yatra? Lord Narsingh is there.
We have to eat prasadam in mode of goodness.
Somebody saying?
Prasadam in mode of goodness, you are saying.
Prasadam.
In mode of goodness, we have to eat prasadam in mode of goodness. From there you went, Jagannath.
Nobody is hearing properly. The only way you can get what is the right thing is if you play it again. Okay, so I got sidetracked because we are talking about Srila Prabhupada is elaborating on prasadam, right? So we should not eat palatable food, and we should never think that because we will enjoy this prasadam and hence I must eat nicely, I must cook nicely, right? No, everything should be cooked for Krishna. The best way you can become detached from Krishna prasad, palatable food. You cook nice palatable food for Krishna, but never eat. Only distribute to everyone. If you practice that way, then you will become a first-class cook. Okay. Okay. So this point has been again and again repeated by Prabhupada is bhalo na khaibo aro bhalo na paribo. We should not eat very palatable. We should not dress very gorgeous. Paribo. 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 Bhalo na paribo. Those who suffer from disease of the stomach must be unable to control the urges of belly, at least according to this analysis. अगर ज़्यादा पेट खराब हो रहा है, means you know that you are not able to control your belly. Okay. So Prabhupada is saying, if we observe fasting, full fasting like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, we can restrain the demand of belly. So fasting on the day of holy day is a mandatory for all devotees. Full fasting. Hira Gudla, do you do fasting or you eat up to full neck? Professor Gudla.
Sir, fasting I am doing, sir.
What?
Sir, I didn't understand the question. Matlab fast, you are having fasting, na, sir?
I'm saying on Janmashtami and Ram Navami, do you eat up to neck, Ekadashi, or you fast?
Ekadashi I don't eat, but Janmashtami I will break the fast, then I will eat.
Your voice is breaking.
In the night, midnight.
In Ekadashi he fasts. Aja, you break with full stomach. Okay. So, Saman, Jitendra, Jivnes.
Hare Krishna, sir. As far as urges of genitals are concerned, there are two proper and improper, or legal or illicit sex. When a man is properly mature, he can marry according to rules and regulation of Shastras and use his genitals for begetting nice children. That is legal and religious. Otherwise, he may adopt many artificial means to satisfy the demands of genitals, and he may not use any restraint. When one indulges in illicit sex life, as defined by the Shastras, either by thinking, planning, talking about or actually having sexual intercourse or by satisfying the genitals by artificial means, he is caught in the clutches of Maya. These instructions apply not only to householders but also to Tyagis or those who are in renounced order of life. In his book Prema Vivarta, chapter 7, Sri Jagadananda Pandit says, वैरागी भाई ग्राम्य कथा न सुनिबे काने ग्राम्य वार्ता न कहिबे याबे मिलिबे आने स्वपाने वो ना कर भाई स्त्री संभाषण गृहे स्त्री छाड़िया भाई आसियाचा माना यदि चान प्राणया रखिते गौरांगीर संगे छोटा हरि दासेर कथा थाके ये न मने भला न खाइबे आर भला न पाइबे हृदयते राधा कृष्ण सर्वदा सेविबे. My dear brother, you are in the renounced order of life and should not listen to talk about ordinary worldly things, nor should you talk about worldly things when you meet with others. Do not think of woman even in dreams. You have accepted the renounced order of life with woe that forbids you to associate with woman. If you wish to associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you must always remember the incidents of Chota Haridas and how he was rejected by the Lord. Do not eat luxurious dishes or dress in fine garments, but always remain humble and serve their Lordship Sri Sri Radha Krishna in your heart of hearts.
So you say that Prabhupada is, almost speaking twice or thrice the same point. We discussed this, proper marriage life, right? Yesterday also we talked about. Again today, Prabhupada said. So this is very important. I said, if you are thinking that because you cannot maintain your brahmacharya, that's why you will marry, then that marriage is nonsense. Marriage, whether you are a householder or brahmachari, our main aim is to expand Krishna conscious family. That's it. If you get householder, you become a householder, and you are able to expand Krishna conscious family, no issue. Doesn't matter. For 20 years we are here and we have used our house, inviting everyone, conducting program, and preaching so many people, distributing prasadam. Whether how much success is there, that is a different part altogether. But simply because I cannot control my genital and hence I get married, this is absolute nonsense. Whether you are a grihastha or you are a brahmachari, you must make Krishna samsara, not your samsara. As long as you do Krishna samsara, then there is no distinction between a grihastha or brahmachari or sannyasi. Okay? So as long as we make Krishna samsara, if you cannot make Krishna samsara, this by making rules you cannot follow. No. We have to make Krishna samsara. We have taken a vow that I have to expand. Like Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, I am ready to get married if I can produce hundreds of Krishna conscious children. So what is meaning of hundreds of children? You give back to hundreds of children? No. As a grihastha also, you can preach to hundreds. So this is what. It doesn't matter whether you are a grihastha or vanprastha or a sannyasi or brahmachari, as long as you preach, as long as you make your house a preaching center. It's perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. As long as you make your house a preaching center, becoming a grihastha or becoming a brahmachari, there is no distance. This is the ultimate. And here you see the very famous Jagadanda Pandit, Vairagi Bhai is addressing his those who are given up the householder life. Gramya Katha Nasunibo Kane. Don't hear Prajalpa. Gramya Varta na kahibo. Jabe milibe ane. When you meet another, don't speak about Corona. Corona, Corona, Corona. You cannot speak Corona all the time. Okay? Sopone na karo bhai stri sambhashana. Even in the dream, you should not associate with a woman. Gruhe stri chadiya bhai asi acha bana. You have already given up your household life and you have now come to, you have become a mendicant. Yadi chaho pranaya rakhite gaurange rasane. You want the love, loving life, full of love life, then you want love life, then make love life with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chota Haridasara Kotha Thake, Jeno Mane. Please think of Chota Haridas Thakur, how Mahaprabhu rejected him. Bhalona khaibo aro bhalona poribo. Don't eat palatable thing. Don't also wear very gorgeous dress. Hrudayate Radha Krishna Sarvada Saviva. Within her heart, you constantly serve Sri Radha and Krishna. Okay. So conclusion part. We had Mr. Ghai. Is there Ghai, Mr. Ghai? Ghai Prabhu is there? I saw him sometime. No, he's not there. Okay. So Premraj, you conclude. अरे प्रेमराज है क्या नहीं है?
Hare Krishna, sir.
हाँ.
Sir, which part should I read? Actually, book is not open.
हाँ?
I have not opened the book. So which part should I read?
Text 13, last paragraph. Text 1, page number 13.
Okay, sir. I'm opening the book.
The conclusion is that. तो क्या सुन नहीं रहा क्या भाई?
No, sir. I was reading, but book is not open. So I'm just opening the book.
बोलो जल्दी बोलो.
Yes, sir. The conclusion is that one who can control the 6 items: speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, is to be called a Swami or Goswami. Swami means master, and Goswami means master of the go or senses. When one accepts the renounced order of life, he automatically assumes the title of Swami. This does not mean that he is the master of his family, community, or society. He must be master of his senses. Unless one is master of his senses, he should not be called Goswami but Godas, servant of the senses. Following in the footsteps of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all Swamis and Goswamis should fully engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As opposed to this, the Godasas engage in the service of the senses or in the service of the material world. They have no other engagement. Prahlad Maharaj has further described the Godasa as Adanta Go, which refers to one whose senses are not controlled. An Adanta Go cannot become a servant of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.30, Prahlad Maharaj has said, Matirna Krishna Parta Swato va Mitho
मिथो विपादेत गृहावृतानाम् अदान्तगोभिर्विशन्तां तमिश्रं पुनः पुनः चर्विता चर्वणानाम्. For those who have decided to continue their existence in this material world for the gratification of their senses, there is no chance of becoming Krishna conscious, not by personal endeavor, by instruction from others, or by joint conferences. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest vision of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the tube.
Right. So, final conclusion Prabhupada is saying that whether it is a Grihastha or Brahmachari or Sannyasi, everybody must become, ultimately, should attain the state of Goswami, not Godasa. Okay? So those who are trying to satisfy their senses, it is called Punaha Punah Sarvita Sarvanana. It is not that you have not done sense gratification. In trillions of lives, whatever sense gratification you are desiring, trillion times of that you have already done it. You have enjoyed sex in 8.4 million different species in different avatars. You have enjoyed palatable food in trillions of species, in 8.4 million species, in trillion lifetimes. And so you have enjoyed everything. Nothing is left that is not enjoyed. And still, we want to enjoy the same thing. Punah, punah, charvitam, charvanam. Just like sugar cane. You take a sugar cane stick and start chewing. And you chew, 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 chew. What is left? Nothing. And every time you chew, you will not get a new pleasure. Same. Suppose you take one sugar cane stick. And if you think that the second sugar cane stick will give you more pleasure, no. It will not give you more pleasure. In fact, after some time you will feel bored, right? So the idea is, this point people should constantly understand that we have got a special opportunity to perfect our life with the help of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is that special mercy? Special mercy is that we need to be greedy for getting or developing spontaneous attraction for the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. And to develop that spontaneous attraction, we need to do what needs to be done. We cannot simply say, all right. We cannot wait. We must work for it. And so those who continuously strive hard to attain the love of Godhead, they will have special mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Already you have come in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And so what is stopping you not to become serious? Why don't you memorize the verses of Bhagavad Gita? You have to find out where you are constantly engaged in Krishna conscious activities. There are some, I have given a lot of service. This Madhusudan Mukund has not updated me. What is happening to learn Gita, live Gita, how we are doing. We need some update. right? So, okay, will not be all right. So, any question? Let us see some discussion today, and then we will see. So let me summarize this chapter, this text. This text, Rupa Goswami is saying, anyone, a Krishna conscious devotee should tolerate the urges of speech, urges of anger, 6 urges, that is speech, anger, mind, the desires of the mind, urges of the mind, anger, speech, then tongue, belly, and genital. Right? These 6 always will give us unsurmountable amount of pain. We need to tolerate them. We need to tolerate, my dear friend. Never come to me saying, I cannot become a brahmachari, that's why I will become a what called grihastha. Anybody who comes like that, next time, I'm warning now that once hammer will make your right cheek very red, and with the second hammer, your left cheek will be separated into 2 parts. Right? We don't distinguish between grihastha or brahmachari as long as you come and say, now I am ready to preach Krishna consciousness in the ashram of grihastha or in the ashram of brahmachari. Keep the focus always in the front. This is my focus. To become a brahmachari, to become a grihastha, this kind of thought anybody who is having is absolutely immature, idiot, rascal, and I can use any other language, but I cannot use worse language than this. In my dictionary, 3 worse languages: rascal, idiot, and one more thing I said. Arabic language. So please. So the idea, Prabhupada said, we can control our speech by speaking about Krishna Katha, by memorizing the verses, by writing books, right? And mind, if the mind is, if you give unrestricted attachment, then that is the road to hell. And if you give mind full freedom, then there will be unlimited desires you cannot satisfy, and hence there will be anger. So it is very important that we constantly engage in hearing, Sravana and Kirtana, so that mind gets perfect association of Krishna, then gets positive sanskara. When mind gets, gets habituated to nice prasadam, nice chanting, nice dancing, then mind's demand will be fulfilled. And then you have anger. So anger, how do you control anger? As long as you do not desire anything other than Krishna consciousness, you will be able to control your anger. The only thing you should desire that how to serve Krishna, how to serve Krishna, how to serve Krishna. You should not give your mind any unrestricted or restricted enjoyment. Or, you should not give mind unrestricted or restricted freedom. Okay. And then we saw that if you take nice Krishna prasadam, nicely cooked for Krishna, and not with thinking that I will enjoy palatable food. If that kind of mood you give up and you take just to honor the Krishna Prasadam, then you can control your tongue, belly, and genital. Right? So this is all. Any question? This is shocking. You know, we are reading Upadesamrita and nobody is having any question. And I don't think that you people all have become so Goswamis that you are able to control your speech, you are able to control your mind, you are able to tolerate your speech, or to speak, or to desire, or to becoming angry, or the tongue, or the belly and genital. But no question. Okay, there is no question. So in the evening, we will start our text 2, which is very, very important for me, Krishna consciousness. And so this also has that 26, 12 page purpose. 12 page
Krishna Sajan, sir, if one of the reasons to get married is the fear from unexpected, unpredictable slip of my mind in future, is that all right?
No, that is nonsense. I told again and again. So if you want to get married from a weak position, you will always remain weak. You will always remain weak. No. What service you want? Okay. You want a service like Gudla went to Dehradun because he said that I will not marry. So I didn't keep him in the Gurukul. I kicked him, and in one kick he reached Dehradun. Okay. This idea, oh, I can't follow this, and hence I will become a Grihastha, or I can follow this, hence I will become a Brahmachari. Both are nonsense. The question is, what I have within me that can be used in Krishna's service to expand Krishna's service. It doesn't matter whether I accept a Grihastha ashrama or a sannyasa.
In case we are not eating prasadam made with high consciousness.
Nah, even if prasadam is not made, suppose some of you told that cooking standard in our kitchen is not very good in Gurukul, but while taking, because that is being offered. So, if you, while honoring prasadam, you take with proper consciousness, this is offered to Krishna, this is transcendental, and so Hari Chintan, so then you can control your tongue.
How to detect desire in mind and act carefully.
And you don't detect the desire of mind. Mind has unlimited desires. What you do is that you make your schedule in such a way, your Sravana and Kirtana is going on very nice.
So some devotees decide to stay brahmachari and then few years later they are forced due to some internal reasons to change their ashram.
No, those reasons, this is because these idiots, they don't preach. It doesn't matter whether you are a brahmachari and a grihastha. If you are preaching, the fire of preaching is so powerful. And one can maintain any asana, which is not an addition. This is because they are not very. The point you have to understand, our way of life is to please Krishna. Okay? And obviously, those who are, those who are in the society, their natural ashram should be Grihastha ashram, and those who are in the temple, their natural ashram should be Brahmacharya. This is a normal principle, but not necessarily. We are seeing nowadays in our temple also maximum are Grihasthas, right? And but those are not issues. It's not whether you are a Grihastha or Brahmachari is important. What is important is that what you are doing for Krishna. That is important.
If somehow we are trapped into feeling of anger or hatred, then what remedy you should take?
If you are trapped by anger or hatred, you are in a very dangerous situation. Immediately come to your teacher and express. And if teacher gives you certain direction, you just follow. And that is all right.
How to develop humility when dealing with parents?
How to develop humility when dealing with parents? Humility in front of parents is, it all depends how matured you are. And in my first interaction with my father, when I became a devotee, or I tried to, I practiced devotional life, I told my father, neither you are my father nor I am your son. And so it is, you cannot say what is humility and what is not humility. And you have to recognize what best will work. So, respect, when you deal with your parents, you must have full respect for them. You must have within your heart the desire to serve them lifelong. And so these are the things you must have. Okay? When we serve Krishna, doesn't mean that we kick our parents. No, we take care of our parents nicely. So serving Krishna is not rejecting parents. No, serving Krishna means even properly taking care of parents in Krishna consciousness.
What are the important criteria or qualification for devotee to be in either brahmachari or grihast? We need to know during preaching to people.
My point is that, somebody is a business fellow, you are preaching. Should you tell him that you become a brahmachari? No. You preach to some young fellow and you try to, preach him that you become a brahmachari, Because, see, what happens, once you enter into grihastha, people don't know the chemistry in grihastha life. Everybody cannot remain in grihastha life and still preach. In fact, to remain brahmachari is easier and preach than to become a grihastha and preach. That is more difficult. But somebody is already grihastha, you cannot say, oh, give up everything and become a Acharya. So it all depends. When this grihastha brahmachari thing means, when we are preaching to young people, always, because if they give their whole life to Krishna, is best. But sometimes some of them may be extraordinarily good when they get married, right? So, and we have to keep also Krishna in the picture. Everybody should pray to Krishna, what is good for me. But always the idea is that how should I please Krishna? And Krishna will arrange everything. And yeah, I am going to give a more detailed talk on this because I'm realizing The people are thinking that if you cannot become a brahmachari, then you can become a grihastha. People should know grihastha ashrama is higher than brahmachari ashrama. So what people are saying, if I can't follow a brahmacharya, then I should go to grihastha. That means they're making their grihastha ashrama lower than the brahmacharya ashrama. This is so ridiculous. According to Veda, grihastha ashrama is higher than brahmacharya ashrama.
So, what should we do so that we always remember these instructions?
You remember these instructions by proper Sravana Kirtana and practicing. And serving. Okay. I think we had many question answer session. Thank you very much. So see you today in the afternoon. And today I will speak something about Jagannath Baldev Subhadra also. That is pleasant surprise. Right? What I'm going to speak about Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, because today is Snan Yatra. So while reading this sloka 2, we will have some special discussion on Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, which most of you do not know. Today we are going to discuss. Haribol.